Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to the video today. First, I want to start off by saying thank you to all the new subscribers recently. Thanks for the overwhelmingly positive response to my last couple of videos. So today I want to talk about something that I've kind of been interested in since Destiny 2 first launched. And it seemed particularly, I think, a good time to talk about it now because if you didn't know, you can get the PC Destiny 2 version for free right now until I think November 18th. Double check on that. But I would recommend if you have any sort of access to a Blizzard account, just download it and just get it. Even if you don't have a PC that can play it, maybe you can play it later. But I recommend trying it out. It's a lot of fun. I'll get into this a little more, but I've made the switch from Xbox to PC pretty much as PC as soon as it became available. So that being said, give that a download, and hopefully we can see each other out there. Anyway, today I'm going to talk about the controller on PC debate. This is coming from someone who played almost the entire year one on an Xbox controller on PC. But I made a switch, like right before year two, I switched. And so this is all going to be from my perspective as someone who did this. Everyone's going to have a little bit of a different opinion. I'm not trying to be an elitist mouse and keyboard player here because I hated those people for a long time. So my points you may disagree with, just hear me out. Let me know what you guys think in the discussion. Now, this is a story all about how my life got turned upside down. I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how I became a mouse and keyboard player. So before Destiny 1, the last shooter game I played was Halo 2, a little bit of Halo 3. So it'd been a while. In between that gap, I played minimal games, but they're mostly handheld or old PlayStation games. When Destiny 2 came out, I had been playing a little bit of Overwatch on PC, but not enough to even say that I know anything about the game. I mean, I know the game, but I don't know, long story short, I suck at that. So I wasn't too hyped on playing mouse and keyboard when Destiny 2 came out on PC. So I just went on to the controller. And so that kind of leads me to my first point is the feel and comfort of a controller versus mouse and keyboard. So when I started playing Destiny 1, I played a lot. So I was comfortable with the Xbox controller, and Destiny is kind of a unique shooter style game where you need all these, the maneuverability is there. You have all these skills. So switching over to the PC, my hands weren't ready for the amount of keys that I needed to hit compared to other shooters or any other PC game that I had played up to that point. So being comfortable with the layout, knowing how the characters controlled all the jumps and the melees and the class abilities and the aiming, all that, it just felt good to me on a controller. So I was like, you know what? I tried mouse and keyboard a little bit at the start and I sucked terribly. So I'm not going to have fun doing this and I want to have fun playing the game. I'm going to use a controller instead. So that is, I think, a major draw for a lot of people who are using controller, and that's fine. What I would recommend is try doing the mouse and keyboard again. Try it a few times. If it doesn't work the first time, give it a break. Try different layouts. Ask people how they have their keys set up. It took me a long time. That was really the thing that really held me back, is finding the key layout that worked for me. And just, after a couple weeks of playing with it, I felt totally fine with it. And some people may take way longer. I feel like switching can take a long time for some people, but for me, it was really just kind of 2 weeks before I felt great. So now kind of the big debate topic is the aim assist. Here are my thoughts on the aim assist. Yes, it is noticeable, I would say, on controller, but only on really sniper rifles and pulse rifles and auto rifles. Obviously, mostly sniper rifles. They're kind of hard to use compared to... they're hard to use the mouse keyboard compared to a controller, in my opinion. So, you need it. You need a aim assist when you use a controller. You just don't have the precision of a mouse. And, people think that, aim assist, you suck, blah, blah, blah. I really don't think it helps to the amount where if someone is a bad player, it's going to make them great. And if someone's a good player, I don't think it will really even push them up to the great level. And that combines with other aspects of the mouse and keyboard as well. If someone is really good with a mouse and keyboard and they're used to it, they're used to the precision of a mouse, they're a PC gamer, whatever, they're going to have a much better time. They're going to be way more precise with their shots. And so I think overall, the precision of a mouse and keyboard, it's way better. Some of the guns, like I said, are a little bit harder to use with a mouse and keyboard, like snipers, but for the main part, I've always found hand cannons to be way easier to use with a mouse. Even when I played with a controller, I would play a few games with a mouse and keyboard, and hand cannons were so much easier to use. And things like pulse rifles and auto rifles, I think, are a little bit easier on a controller. So they have their give and takes. The downside to aim assist on controller is that really annoying thing where you're aiming at someone and their teammate jumps across your reticle and it drags your scope. You don't really get that too much with the mouse and keyboard, and I don't miss that. So the third thing, which I think is a big thing to consider, and it's kind of really what made me switch, is just the skill ceiling that you come across. Meaning, if you want to hit the really high levels of gameplay on PC, you're going to have to use mouse and keyboard. I know there are some good, like really good players who use controller, but I think for the majority, it's just the amount of movement that you have, the precision with the mouse, and just kind of just the overall character control is just a little bit higher. Well, maybe a lot higher. I don't know. With the mouse and keyboard, that is taking into account not only the precision of your shot, but also the ability to whip around and see kind of everything around you very quickly. If you watch probably Overwatch players, if you watch Fortnite players, they can always just whip their mouse around. They can see everything that's going around. You can't really match that with a controller unless you're running a super high sensitivity, and at that point you're kind of probably losing out on some of your precision on your shots. So you kind of don't lose it as much with the mouse and keyboard. I found things like shotguns are huge right now. Being able to do that kind of whipping control with a shotgun and being able to get ready, turn around, and just turn on someone and still be in full control is much easier to do with a mouse and keyboard. And so I think for trying to achieve that higher level of play, mouse and keyboard just makes sense. That's kind of the way I'm going about this, my whole feelings. I used to really be a huge hater of mouse and keyboard. I used to match against this one kid who streamed a lot, and he would either be on my team or against me, and I would go into his stream afterwards, and he would I'd heard him a few times talk trash about controllers, and I was using a controller. I was like, man, I think I'm going to use controller, and just kind of prove this dude wrong. That was kind of the mindset I had, and it was, I don't know, it was kind of dumb. So hopefully you guys don't have that same aspect or mindset. And I don't want people to think that mouse and keyboards are like elitist either. I mean, the way my opinion on it overall, here it is, too long didn't read version. Do whatever you're having fun with. I would take into consideration some of the things I said, mostly the quote unquote skill ceiling that I talked about. It's going to be pretty hard to play at a high level with a controller, but if you aren't having fun, then what's the point of playing, So I would recommend giving it a shot. Try it a few times. It took me a little while to really kind of fully commit, but like I said, once I did, it only really took a couple of weeks. That's not to say I want all people to use mouse and keyboard or controller. I honestly can't tell a difference on who's doing it. Some people can. I used to get messages like, "Oh, dude, how's the controller going?" Blah, blah, blah. But whatever. So that's kind of my opinion. Like I said, my opinion. If you have differing opinions, or you're have any other points you want to bring up, let me know. I've been enjoying interacting with everyone in the comments. So let me know what you think. And like I said, the game is free until November 18th. Well, the base game. You won't get Forsaken, but you can at least try out the Crucible. And that's where the main action really is, in my opinion, anyway. So, yeah, I recommend, even if you use a controller, just get it on the PC. Try it out. Even when I was using controller, I had it on Xbox. I never went back to Xbox after I got it on PC, just because it just played way better, in my opinion. So that's really what my recommendation would be. Go to PC. Doesn't matter what you use. That's it. So thanks for listening to me ramble, and I'll see you next time.